I'm Jay Addison from EventChain.io for Investment Pitch Media and FinTech News Network. Today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Lawrence Lerner from Pythia. Lawrence, how are you doing this afternoon?
Excellent. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. Can you tell us a little bit about what Pythia is and what Pythia does?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking, and thank you for having me on. At the end of the day, Pythia is a focused blockchain venture fund. We're located right in the heart of Seattle, and we're part of the Archain ecosystem. Pythia was founded with the notion of really helping to build all of the foundational things that we need to do in blockchain. There are lots of aspirational things, but we feel that if you look at blockchain as the operating system, then adding digital identity, wallets, exchanges, data management, we're starting to see all of those things become common and ubiquitous. We're taking our investments there.
That makes sense. Now, how did you get involved with the Archain project?
It's really interesting. So I've known some of the original founders, Ed Eichholt, and some others for a couple of years. I'd been working in other blockchain and Bitcoin projects. And last year, as things really started to heat up in the summer of July of 2017, they asked me to come on to do some business strategy, product marketing, and really help them with outreach for my network. And as the year went on, they said, we really need someone to help accelerate what we're doing in the venture fund. And in December of last year, they asked me to come on, and in January, I joined as CEO.
Fantastic. Now, what if other outside investors or VCs, fund managers, wanted to get involved in Pythia? Is that a possibility? Can people invest in Pythia to invest in Archain projects?
Absolutely. We welcome other limited partners. We get a lot of requests for education. I mean, everybody's still a little unclear about what blockchain is. We did 2 events this week alone on educating investors and entrepreneurs and founders as to what is blockchain. So absolutely, we'll welcome them. We get requests from angel groups, from other venture capital funds that have broader reach and look at the larger market, but haven't yet dedicated a focus. And I think that's where the interest comes, number one, for Archain itself, because people are interested in how that's going to bring blockchain 3.0 when we go live in December of this year to the marketplace. What does that really mean? So we also get questions from enterprise. I'm talking to 2 of the large enterprise telecom carriers who are looking at ways to use 3rd generation blockchain in their business. My background in enterprise software and other people on the team are really bringing those conversations forward. And then other investors, and we're starting to get the tires kicked by family offices and more traditional investment funds who are now becoming more comfortable with the idea of blockchain and are courting us to help educate their offices and bring them into the mix.
Now, how much capital does Pythia have for this whole project in funding Archain applications?
So we were started as a $170 million fund. We've deployed capital into 3 companies, LifeID, Trusted Key, and Digital Town. And we've got another 5 that will be wrapping up in probably in the next 2 weeks, and about 70 companies in the pipeline today. So we're really excited about all of the things that we're seeing. We're also doing some co-investing with some of those larger enterprises that I've talked about. We're also investing in developers and really helping the organizations, because quite honestly, there's a lot of project out there and there's not enough blockchain architects and developers to do all of the work that we're seeing. And we're also investing in education programs as well.
Yeah, you're right. You guys have got something, and the Archain project has something that's fairly unique compared to a lot of the blockchain projects out there that are kind of headed up by 1 or 2 people or a small party, which the blockchain's really got an amazing system with the whole community and how the community kind of, to a certain degree, runs the project, right? So I really like what Archain's doing. Now, if there's other developers or people that are working on applications, blockchain applications that want to get on the Archain network and want to try and get some financing for that, how would they go about that?
So there's a couple of things that they should do. Absolutely go to developer.archain.coop to learn more about the technology, the product, and everything else that's going on. Pitches, Pitches, at Pythia.com is another way to get to us for funding.
Okay, fantastic. Now, how does Pythia make revenues on this? Like, is it relying on the applications that you finance that are going to be on the RChain network in making revenue for Pythia to have a return on investment? Is that the idea behind it?
We're a standard 2 and 20 type fund within the venture capital world. So when there's a liquidity event in our companies, that's where we receive some of the return, and that's where our continuing funding will come from. That and limited partners and management fees that we take off of the funds that we manage.
Now, is Pythia a private company or a public company?
We're a private company.
You're a private company. Now, what's coming up for the roadmap for and milestones for Pythia in the fourth quarter? Because I understand that the mainnet's going to launch for RChain in the fourth quarter of this year, is the understanding.
That's right. We are so busy till the end of the year. And what we've done is we've reverse mapped everything from then. I'll start with maybe a really big and interesting announcement is that the testnet will go live and will be lit up in Berlin at RCon 3, which is the RChain Developer Conference. So that is going to be a big moment where we're bringing partners, other investors, and companies into the mix. So we're all tracking towards making sure that we've got a very vibrant and large ecosystem for RChain and other companies as we bring things in. We do deal days at Pythia every Thursday. We've established a relationship with, because Seattle is very close to British Columbia and Canada, we do quarterly deal days for them. We had our first one about 3 weeks ago, which was really exciting. So the Ministry of Trade and Investment has set that up with us. We'll be doing one with the British government in September. We're going to do some public deal days, and we always do working sessions. We're out and about to make sure everybody knows about the investment opportunities, how we work with companies, and to really promote the RChain message as well. I'm just looking at my notes. We do our office hours, and then most importantly, validators. We know that every network is highly dependent on the number of validators that we get out there. So we've been bringing in the companies we've invested in. ISPs that we know, miners that we know, that see the end of the roadway for some of the things that they're doing and are thinking about how they can move to RChain. We've got one company we're looking at investment, I can't name yet, but is going to be building basically an ERP for the mining system. So more validators, that is another huge push for us and everybody in the RChain community.
So Lawrence, you mentioned RCon 3. This is the RChain Development Conference coming up?
That's right. It's in Berlin the first week of September.
Okay, so any developers that would want to meet you, I imagine you're going to be at that conference.
That's right.
Right, so anybody that's in the blockchain sector that would like to meet you and try and perhaps get some assistance from Pythia in moving towards the RChain platform, it would be ideal to meet you at RCon 3.
That's exactly right. Or here in Seattle in the intervening days or afterwards.
That sounds great. Now, how can our viewers learn more about Pythia or contact you directly if they want to get involved, either as a financer or as a blockchain project looking to get on the RChain network and getting some financial backing for that?
Absolutely. Thank you. They can go to pythia.com, Pythia.com, write to investors at pythia.com, or pitches, as I said earlier, at Pythia.com, so they can learn more about our investment strategy, our approach, our deal thesis is out there, and all of the things that we do to help grow the ecosystem, not only for RChain, but blockchain in general, and then developer.rchain.coop to really learn more about the platform, how nodes are being set up, Rolang, which is a smart contract language, and the architecture as well.
Lawrence Lerner from Pythia Inc. It's certainly been a pleasure speaking with you today on Blockchain Interviews. I'd love to follow up after the RCon 3 conference just to find out, there seems to be a lot of buzz around RChain these days, and I'd like to follow up and find out what happened. I'm sure it's going to be a very exciting conference. Let's do that in the coming weeks, in the coming months here, Lawrence, get a follow up on that. I'd appreciate it.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks so much for having me on. It was great talking to you again.
Thanks for your time, Lawrence. I appreciate it.
All right. Cheers. Bye-bye.